Hello, how is everyone? I don't think anyone's here yet. Hold on. So, hey Stacey. You alright, my darling? You are, my sweet, you are. Hey Debs, how you doing? I'm alright, my darling, I'm alright. I'm good, sweet. Hey hey Shawnee. So, my guest hasn't turned up. Sadly, my guest hasn't turned up. So I thought we'd do paranormal chat, so you can ask me any questions you want about the paranormal, basically, and I'll put my opinion on it. I'm good, thank you, sweet. I'm good. I'm good. I'm going to move this so you can actually stare straight at it. Come over, baby. Why you doing? Yeah, so I thought we'd do a bit of paranormal chat. So anything you want to know, I will let you know. No, you're fine, sweet. You're fine. I haven't actually seen it yet. I'll hold my hands up. But I'll have a look soon, my darling. Yeah, so I thought we'd have a bit of a paranormal chat. Um, or you can ask me about a place and I'll put my thing on it. Could be a couple of different things, sweet. That could be a couple of different things. So you could have, it could just be negative energy on it. Where the pit, whatever factory it's been made in, it could just have negative energy on it. So it might not be paranormal, but it could just have negative energy. So it's sort of like a bit of a. I have to open the door. No, it's not. 2 seconds, guys. Steams my camera up. Yeah, cleanse and lock because you don't know where that negative energy is coming from. So cleanse and lock is the best way to deal with it. Sorry, I'm tracking comments as well at the same time, so I don't have to come back over and count them all for the tally. So yeah, there. So my hair grows quick, sweet, grows so quick. Um, so what's going on in my world for the paranormal? Obviously, I'm a clairvoyant. So my paranormal world is a bit crazier than others. Um, for me personally, I am. at the minute trying to get places booked for next year. There's been a bit of a, I don't want to use that term again, spanner in the woodworks. But yeah, there's been something thrown in there which has sort of made it a bit harder to actually book anywhere at the moment. But I'm hoping to. Obviously, before I say it, I know with you cannot chase and stuff. There is just many different things going on. One of the things I am hoping to get is actually do a lot more private as well, so private hauntings. So if you know someone that thinks they've possibly got an attachment or something like that, get them to come over and chat with me. I am hoping to get a lot more private ones. I'm not actually going to charge for them very much. So I'm going to hold my hands up. A lot of them I'm going to do as many as I can. Which sage? Right. I'm actually going to correct everyone here about this, and I hate the fact it's on witchy groups and stuff like that. White sage actually brings spirits in. White sage actually brings spirits in. It's not for cleansing. It actually brings them in. Yes. That is why it's called a closed practice, my darling, with Native Americans. It actually brings them in. Native Americans use it to bring them in. So white sage actually brings them in. If I'm struggling, so say if I go, like I was just saying about going somewhere, like say if I don't know, I'll use your house as an example then. Say you contacted me, you sent me an email and you said, look, I've got a spirit here, don't know what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. I go to your house and it's one that hides. I would use white sage to bring it out. White sage with a purple candle. So then I can start figuring out what it is and what it wants, etc. Have you got a bell or a singing bowl? No. So the other one is lavender, lavender and lavender, sandalwood, frankincense. Yeah, you can use the gems. Gems. As long as it's got the bell noise. As long as it's got the bell noise, hon, yes. So as long as it's got the bell noise. And while you're going around, you're making sure that you're thinking of cleansing thoughts and stuff. But yeah, so I use a lot of that. I've just read that correctly, Debs. One of the gems I brought from you has locked itself in a box. Why has it locked itself in a box? Oh, you've now got me inquisitive. Why has it locked itself in a box? That's a leopard skin. That is leopard skin. Why would leopard skin one? Hold on, gonna make sure that I'm thinking I'm right in what I'm thinking leopard skin's for, so I understand why it's locked itself in a box. Because it's nothing to do with paranormal. It's a shapeshifter stone. No, I don't have tiger's eye at the minute, sweet. I don't. Well, I do have tiger's eye, but not. Oh, I have blue tiger's eye, so that's wrong actually. Oh, now this is. You've intrigued me here. I ain't gonna lie to you, sweet. You've intrigued me. Debs, you've really intrigued me. You've really intrigued me. Is that with tarot cards? Yeah. Is that with tarot cards, sweet? Were they cleansed before you put them in the box? Because that I know of, your house is haunted. Ah, so it could be, to me then, that's one or two things. So it could be that they were trying to attract the right energies to your tarot box. So something along the lines, it could be a spirit guide or something, has placed it in there to attract the right energies. It could also be as well, sweet, that it's associated you doing tarot cards with some of the trauma that you've got. So it's actually trying to sort out some of the past trauma because that is what that is for. I'm hoping I've guessed it right that it is the leopard skin because if it's the bronzite, that's where I've got to go. Ooh, ooh, right. That's it. I'm visiting Deb's house. This is sort of stuff I need. I'm visiting Deb's. When can I come, Deb's? When can I come? Oh, bless her, every time. Um, I have noticed, I don't really do that when I'm not actually at the house. So the reason being is because even though I can connect to your house and that I know of, it's okay, and I'll admit that to you. And when I connect with you, I don't feel anything. Unlike with Hev, actually, I think I remember having this conversation with Debs before. I don't feel anything, but I could turn up there and all of a sudden there's something there because over the phone, over stuff, the energies are different. Ah, Debs, I love that. You needed that, sweet. I remember having a conversation about yours being haunted before. I remember having a conversation about that. Because my goal is now, I'm going to hold my hands up, ladies. I want to help people. I don't want to charge for what I'm doing. Um, I do want to help people. So I'm trying to figure a way that I can earn money plus help people and go to their houses and stuff like that. I'm glad you're more than welcome. That's what I'm here for, beautiful. We make sure them horrible ones go in the bin. I do. I want to, with attachments getting more and more, and they are. It's getting hard. It's getting hard. So it doesn't have to be witch's salt because that'll make your mirror dirty, but salt water, sweet. So we use salt water to lock them. And then sometimes we put a crystal in front of it just to ensure it is locked. Yeah. It just depends on what you're feeling. I think my footage shows at 30 East Drive. I'm positive most of them mirrors in that house are a bloody portal. I will literally sit here until I'm blue in the face and say it. Mirrors can be used as portals. Yeah, just normal salt water, my lovelies. Yep, so incense to cleanse it. Certain incense available on my website. Please take a look. I'll actually share that in here. Do you know what I mean? Actually, I just realised that I can share that. Sadly, poor Shawnee and Stacey can no longer share links. Bless them, they had to be removed as mods so they can comment on all my videos. Yeah, no, you're not mods anymore, beautiful. Because for some reason it won't let me comment. Yeah, make sure it's done, sweet. Just make. Obviously, as you guys know, I do mine quite regularly. I do mine regularly. I'm a little bit obsessed, if I'm honest. Like, I'm a little bit too obsessed. Sorry, I just had an email come through, making sure it wasn't the guest. Yeah, I'm a little bit too obsessed. I'll hold my hands up. So I'm going to admit to something that after I spoke to Craig last week, I admitted something to him. And he pissed himself laughing. Because he went, we all have different powers, Amy. So remember that. We all have different powers, and that is why you don't need all the instruments anymore to cleanse. I'm now at the point where I can just, well, I'm not at the minute, I'm having to cleanse a house, actual physical cleanse like you guys do. But I am at the point where I just have to use my white light and put a boundary up that way. I do use my salt still on my front and back door, but I can use my white light. Yeah, but Stacey, you're weird, mate. Right? I love Stacey to pieces. So before anyone thinks this is wrong, I love Stacey to pieces, and she should know that, right? She goes to her dad. Her dad is more haunted than 30 East Drive, right? Her dad's house is so bloody haunted, right? And I mean so haunted, right? The photos of it nearly made me pass out. Yeah, that's how haunted it is, right? She can go there and everything else, right? Anyone else I know would get an attachment. Anyone else I know would get an attachment. One of them would attach to her. Not her. Do you know what I mean? Not her. Yeah, exactly. Salt for the doors. I still have to use salt for the doors, sweet. Do you know what I mean? Anyone else? Let's get a bloody attachment. Not us, Stacey. Honestly, it's nuts. I'm glad about that, Debs. It is so important, sweet. It's so important. Yeah, Lily's. more susceptible to it than you, isn't she? She's more susceptible, bless her heart. Mm, it's more the grounds they're on, Shawnee. Yeah, got to recharge them gems. It's more the grounds they're on. Um, it's a strange. Hospitals aren't actually as haunted as what people think, because a lot of people that pass away in them actually go home or to somewhere that they know or something like that. It's crazy actually how non-haunted they are. The reason why anyone I say with a hospital, to me, when I was always told don't go near the morgue because I see them, it's because that is where they seem to sort of like wait for their family member to come and follow them home, that sort of thing. She has opened up quite quick, very much so, very, very much so. Nursing homes are terrible. My mum's worked in a few. Nursing homes are terrible. They are, especially when you've got one where they've been ill treated. They are awful. Like my mum, I'll never forget. Story time. My mum worked in one Water Beach Lodge. It was called, and I used to go down there all the time as a kid. And there was a lady there. Obviously, I'm not going to mention her names. And she kept saying, the man's coming for me." And everyone just kept calling her a troublemaker. Everyone, like all the staff, just called her a troublemaker. They said she's a problem causer and all that. And for me, it was like, no, there's something deeper here. There's something deeper, even as a child. And I remember one day she come to me, and I was on nights with my mum, and I think I was about 9, 10. And I remember taking her back to her room, and she's going, "You need to check for the man. You need to check for the man," and stuff like that. So I checked under the bed. I checked in the ensuite thing. And she kept saying, "No, he's outside." So I opened the curtains, and there stood a black figure. And I screamed. Never forget, I screamed, run up to Mick, who was working with my mum, and said, "She's not lying, there is a man outside." He ran outside to try and find it. And believe me, this bloke you wouldn't mess with. He was bloody huge. He was ex-army, you know what I mean? Couldn't find it anywhere. Could not find it anywhere. So then he said it must be my imagination because of what she was saying. Whereas now I understand she had an attachment. But it was made worse where she got Alzheimer's. I think it was either Alzheimer's or dementia. So it was made 10 times worse. They are bad. They are awful. I will admit that, Christine. Honestly, it was nuts. The stuff I've seen in that thing. Yeah, they're all doing it. They're all doing it, Shawnee. I think that's why I'm going off them. I'm going to some of these haunted places because they're all doing it. Um, I'm trying to think of the wording. They're all doing it for money, and the prices like is ridiculous. Some of them are charging 1,800 quid, so £1,800 a night. So we moan about 30 East Drive, and that is nothing compared to what they're doing. Nothing. Yeah. Oh, I don't understand why they're doing that. I don't understand why they're, I watched a podcast yesterday, Dark Side Spirit Secret Seekers. I watched a podcast with them. They're on with Chris, which is Lorraine Warren's grandson, yesterday. And even he's so disappointed in what they're doing. So disappointed. Trouble is, and they're paying for it. People are paying it. People are paying it. It's ridiculous the amount that they're charging. Absolutely ridiculous. And because I won't do the urban exploring, so I won't just go into random buildings. Like Aunt's like, yeah, come on, let's do it. But I won't do it. So because I won't, the problem is we can't afford these places. So at the minute, the only place we can afford to do is 30 East Drive at the moment. So, and that is why I'm sort of like going more towards doing privates. So that's why I'm going more towards doing privates. And what it'd be for me personally, it'd just go, yeah. Oh, you're all right, sweet. You're all right, my darling. Yeah, it's honestly, it's ridiculous the amount they're charging. Absolutely ridiculous. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, how bad it is. Most of them are the same price, Christine. The bloke that was meant to be on tonight, he's one of the next cheapest to 30 East Drive, and he's £800 a night. Like, don't get me wrong, I get it. We've all got to make a living, and I get that, and I really do. Um, but it's just ridiculous. Yeah, possibly could be, sweet, because I do know you are clairvoyant. Yeah, do lovely. If people send me places, suggest them, I do take them. I am very wary because it's just getting ridiculous. I hold my hands up. Oh, Debs, I want. So basically, I better explain actually about the privates, Debs. So what I want to do with the privates is I will go in and basically figure out whether there's definitely something there that needs cleansing away, or I'll help it pass. That is what I want to do. I want to go in and do that. But for me as well is I don't want to go in. I want to record it as well. So sort of want. I don't want to compare myself to Ed and Lorraine Warren, but I want to do something on that level, if that makes sense. Um, the way that I'm thinking of making money from it, and I hold my hands up, is by writing books. So then I can go and help people for free. I won't be doing massive publicity for it like they did. It will literally be no named, unless they agree to recording it so I can put it on YouTube and stuff like that. Other than that, it'd be no named and it'd go up on YouTube. Um, it's sort of that is the sort of thing that I want to do. Is to help people, to guide people and stuff like that. And obviously as well, I will do where um, I as well. So on these case studies, I'll write a book on it, and I will do a video to share with you about what happened and stuff like that. So then I can do it without giving people names and stuff like that. That is sort of what I want to do. Um, it's just sort of like I'm not out there enough yet for people to know this is what I do, that I've helped people in the past with attachments without even going to the house and stuff, that I've been able to do all this and stuff like that. A lot of people don't know that I have. When I talk about it, I struggle a lot on Facebook. Find out about the books. I'm confused, sweet. I'm going to hold my hands up. I'm going to hold my hands up there. I am a little bit confused. Oh, okay. Oh, this is what I mean. Like, I know you all, and I think, I register you all, but it's like sometimes it's like, see, this is it, Debs. So many people need it, and they need to be believed. They don't need these bloody skeptics going in, making them feel more insane. Oh, loads of podcasts. We've got loads coming up. It's absolutely crazy, especially for the other one. Shawnee's been really busy, bless her heart. And this is the thing that I want to bring to you all, is this sort of, I want to bring to people, I want to help them, I want to get this, as much as we can, get rid of all these bad entities, as much as we can. And for me personally, this is what's driving me. It's not just that. I'm going to hold my hands up. So the reason why I want to go to places like 30 East Drive is so, because they're not places. Ah, bless him. Um, because they're not places where I'm going in to cleanse. They're not. I'm not going into cleanse and stuff like that. So because of that, I'm not going there to do. This is what I mean. This is what I mean, Debs. Who can pay that? Um, I'm glad Charlie's back, by the way, Shawnee. I'm naughty. I shouldn't encourage Charlie. Um, this is what I mean. Who can, like, don't get me wrong. I know we've got to make a living. I get that. I respect that. I need to make a living. You know what I mean? I'm really struggling. Um, oh, that's great. See, this is what I mean. These poor people, because they're going to the wrong people and stuff like that. Uh, this is what I mean. £1,000. Bloody hell, I don't even make that in 3 months. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Most likely. Most likely, sweet. They know when you need them. They do know. They do know. Bless them. This is what I mean. This is what winds me up, right? And this is what winds me up. And I don't mean it rudely when I say this. I see so many people being taken the piss out of fakes. So many people, right? So many people. It's not come through. Um, I see so many people getting taken the piss out of, right? If you walk in that house and you don't know what the you're doing, right? You walk in that house, and for that money, hey Paul, you're right. For that money, for £1,000, right? I don't mean this really when I say this, but for £1,000, she should be checking up on that house every couple of weeks, right? 4 grand every couple of weeks to make sure what she's done's worked, right? It hadn't worked. So what was she going to do? Honestly, it makes me furious. Makes me so angry. Makes me so, so angry. How much people are like, it's unbelievable. And I'm not even going to say to the people, I'm not even going to say, like, more for your friend for paying it. You need to learn to control your white light, sweet. So you need to learn to control your white light, my dear. And that's what gives us a bubble. That's what I mean, right? Debs, it makes me so angry. It makes me angry for her because it. There's so many people out there, and there is, right, that are so frauding people that they know what they're doing and they don't. So when you go into a house and you're going somewhere like that where there's a lot going on, you need to check that. I know it sounds weird, but the child isn't having some sort of, like, they're causing it with telekinesis. You need to check that. I know that sounds weird and people emotionally think, what the hell are you talking about? And stuff like that. Exactly, Shawnee. There's so much that you need to do. So much you need to do. That is ridiculous. This is why I want to help people. Like, oh, definitely, definitely, sweet. And it's gutting because there's people out there genuine like me. Most of the ones which are actual spiritual don't have no fucking money. Excuse the French. And Paul, you're my witness to this. Us ones that are actually spiritual don't have no money because we understand money isn't as important as actually supporting and helping. So we understand that. To keep our white lights white, we need to do it, not for the money, right? This is why I've been having to look at other ways to make money. And I'll admit that to anyone. This is why. And it just makes me shut the door again so the camera's messing up. 2 seconds, guys. Please ignore my messy area. Oh, shit. Exactly. This is it, Shawnee. Exactly. Exactly, Paul. This is the thing, right? And it winds me up. I don't mean it rudely, but it really winds me up because these toxic, bad people are getting work, getting paid stupid money, and it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Like, I'll be happy, right? You say to me, right, okay, I'm going to put all my photos away so no one knows whose house it is. Come and set up, Amy. Right? I'll be happy. I'll be like, right, okay, we can YouTube it. Don't be cheeky now, Paul. Exactly. Debs, do you know what? It's sometimes that easy. Get your protection up and tell them to leave. Sometimes it is that fucking easy. A lot of times it's that easy. But you need to make sure as well you're not inviting them in. So you're not giving off that, how do I make it? How do I say it? You're not giving off that vibe of, I want it. I want to see something. I want it. I want loads of spirits around me. I want to be over spiritual that I'm seeing them 24/7. You need to make sure you're not doing that, because that will invite more in, and stuff. Is that? Do you know what, Shirley? I'm not gonna lie to you. So the other day, right, um, walking down the street, and there was this lad, and literally I stopped him and gave him a full message, gave him a full reading, right, an hour and a half in the freezing cold, out in the freezing cold, gave him a full reading, right. I thought he had an attachment, turned out he didn't. Well, technically, still he does. It's really confusing. Um, and I gave him full reading there and then on the street. I don't always do that, and I don't always do that. But they needed it. They needed that, so I just gave him full reading on the street. This is a problem, Em. This is a problem, and TikTok is the worst for that. TikTok is the worst for that. Do you know what I mean? If they need it, I will do it. I won't deal with everyone's attachment. I struggle, like what you were saying, Em. I struggle going out and about. And not because of people's emotions. I can sort of close myself off with my white bubble with that. I struggle seeing the attachments. I struggle mentally with seeing attachments. And I won't lie to people with that. Knowing I'm leaving that person with that attachment and I can't do nothing about it. I struggle quite bad with that. And especially because attachments are getting worse. They're getting a lot worse. This is what I mean. It just drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. And this is in a way, everyone does them. Everyone gets pulled, sweet, into it. I thought you disappeared again, my lovely. That is what I'm here for, Debs. That's what I want to do, sweetheart. Honestly, if I could go out and cleanse the world, I bloody will. Yeah, that's what I mean, Shawnee. It's horrible. It's because how do you go up to someone and say, "Excuse me, can I have a chat with you? You know you're severely depressed. It's not depressed, you've got some twat stood there." How do you walk up to someone and do that? This is what I mean. Have I had the pendulum that long? Bloody hell. You can't do it. Exactly. Not everyone will accept it. Could you imagine me walking up to Beardo and saying, "By the way, Beardo, you've got an attachment"? Mm. I hope so as well, especially as I've been doing cleansing on you. I'll hold my hands up, Christine. About 2 weeks ago, there was something lingering on you, but we got rid of it. I don't know where it come from, but it was gone. I got rid of it without you even knowing. I'll hold my hands up there. But there is something called a parasite. Em's had one, you've had one. They're parasite things. They're just literally, they're things that just go from one person to another person, sucking their white energy. And I think that was just, you were so low because of everything that was going on, sweet. But if I do see one, I get rid of it. I don't even let you all know. I'm gonna hold my hands up with you lot. I don't even let you all know. I literally get rid of it. Um, yeah, Shawnee, you can pick them up from, yeah. Oh, don't. I remember, Debs, was it a Reiki session when I freaked out? And it turned out it was that. Was it a Reiki session? Yeah, you can pick them up from anywhere. Even someone walking in your home to do a repair. Even someone walking into your home to do a repair, you can pick them up. Because that's how Em got hers. No comment. No comment, Paul. No comment. I'm waiting for him to debunk my East Drive video. I am waiting for that. My part 2. Yeah, I remember that. I freaked out on that one. Because I panicked at first it was attached to you, didn't I? Yeah. Honestly, it's crazy. It's crazy. The trouble is, in this world, you don't get many weirdos like me who, and I am a weirdo because I do Shawnee's fucking edit. Excuse my French. There ain't anything on it, Paul. We didn't really get anything other than ants being touched. We didn't get anything, so that'd be boring. Um, I do Shawnee's heading, right? Shawnee sends me loads of videos. Right, she sends me loads, and I'm like 2 seconds in, I'm like, I've already debunked it. I've already debunked it. It's a load of rubbish. Or gave it a natural thing for it. I always go to, can I find the natural thing for it? I always go to that. Can I find a natural thing for it? Where is the natural thing for it? Before I actually go to anything. That's it. That's it. And I really did panic it was attached to you. No, just cleanse after they've been in and salt line. Just cleanse after they've been and salt line. I do, especially because she's got a few favourites, right? Like I know 90% of what Sam and Colby do, I can debunk, right? 90% of what they do, I can debunk. Yeah, I know that, right? I know that. I do know that. I don't mean it rudely, but I do. Um, Whereas Shawnee will send me a video of some of her favourite creators, and I'll be like, Shawnee, it's a load of shit. I'll just be like, Shawnee, it's a load of shit. And she's like, no. I do upset her quite a lot. That's it. Good. That's where it needs to be, Debs. Well, actually, no, I would want to still cleanse it. I'll hold my hands up. I would still want to cleanse it. Hold my hands up. No, but you've had one. You sent me to the boys video where I managed to find that one that you didn't actually know was there. I wouldn't know, Paul, without having a proper attached to you. I might have to sort that out one day, sweet. I do know I've got another lady which I've got to speak to about her attachment as well. Oh, yes. And they invite more in, Debs. If they find food, they invite more in. This is the problem. You know, they're like, just think of them. I can't think who did the song. I'm going to hold my hands up. But just think of them once they've got attached to you and they're getting good on you and stuff like that. They're like that song, come on over, baby. Do you know what I mean? They're like, come on. No, I don't, my sweet. I trusted Google. Who is that? I need to move that over slightly so I can read the comment. Are they on Google, sweet? Oh, on Google, perhaps so. Ah, that's it. And honestly, they are. They are literally like, we've got one here. Come on. Come on down. Well, yeah. And it's like Craig said, Craig gave the best example I've ever heard. They are walking in the same realm as us the other, when he explained that the other day, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I was like, he is right. He is right. They are walking in the same realm as us. It's just some of us are blessed that the light hits our eyes different so we can see them. Some of us need training so that it hits our eyes different so we can see them. Hey, I'm forever doing stuff like that, Em. It it does drive me insane. The amount of people that don't believe they're there really shocks me in some ways. But you also have to look at mental health. So when I do come in to talk about attachments and look at attachments and stuff like that, and some people can't actually see, I've been into some. I'm going to sound like a right CUNT here. Right. Oh, don't. We won't get on about her, my dear. I've had it. Black is black. It's our soul is black. Um, I'm trying to think what I was saying. What was I saying? Um, she. Ah, you'll find you. She is getting a lot of stick from witches. A lot of stick. There is light in darkness, but there isn't darkness in light. And a lot of people forget that. And I got a message from one of her followers, and I ain't gonna talk about it, saying that because she used my religion against me and said that chaos is darkness and that is how light was born. So technically, there is, but chaos wasn't darkness. Chaos was energy. That's why it was chaos. That's why it was chaotic. It wasn't darkness, it was energy. And when we think of energy, we think of every color under the sun. So I've struggled with her. It has. Sadly, she has brought a lot of people out through the darkness. Her followers have gone through the roof. And they will do because it's our beautiful Sam and Colby. So it will do. But they're under a lot of scrutiny at the minute. They're under a lot of scrutiny at the minute. So yeah. I don't mind. Bring my religion against me. I don't care. As long as you know what you're talking about. No, no. I've got to be cautious because I do know I've made her really upset. And I do know everyone that's been doing something negative, she's tried to put a return to sender spell on. So I have got to be cautious. Because if there's anything as powerful as my return to senders, yeah. But there's a lot of complaints going on about her. She's now known in the witchy community as, the thing is as well is when you work in the witchy community, one of the things that I will explain to you all is a lot of witches don't agree with mix and matching deities. Personally, I don't agree with it. So we don't agree with this mismatch of deities. Even though we believe, most of us will come to the agreement that all the deities are the same, we just don't agree with this mismatch. We don't agree. I don't know why. We just don't. Most of us in the witch community feel that way. And she worships different gods and goddesses from every religion. So it's a bit of a, what the fudge? So yeah, it is a very strange situation. So what about it? I'm going to have to change the title of this video because it didn't end up being what it's meant to be. 57 minutes in and I realised that. Yeah, it's a crazy world, my dears. It's a crazy world. Lots of ghosts and goblins, very frightening. Galileo, Galileo. Don't ask me where that comes from. That is a bit random. But this is a thing, Em. So even like with you going through pre-menopause, right? I was meant to have a guest pool, but they haven't arrived. So yeah. Um, so basically, how do I word this? What was I saying? Brain dead moment. Oh, so pre-menopause and stuff like that. When I come in to do an investigation, I've got to even check on that. Like, are you premenopausal? Mental health history? Honestly, it's nuts. The amount of stuff that I would do during it, like I'll hold my hands up and you saying about the fact you've got ADHD, and even though I've got ADD and brain fog, that is actually a massive red alarm. So straight away I've got to go to, well, she's having brain fog and she's got ADHD. How do I know in the moments when you're having brain fog that you're not actually in what they call like a dissociative state? So you're not in a sort of like imaginary world at that time. So you think you're seeing a figure but actually you were sat there in an imaginative world. So it's sort of like these things you've got to check. Honestly, yeah, it's crazy. I don't go always straight to possession. I've seen that if I can feel them, then I do. It's a bit different. It's like, hello, how are you? But sometimes I've had. So I'm going to share a story. Um, I don't even with Shawnee and Stacey. I don't talk much about my private investigations, and I don't. Oh, bless you, Paul. Um, so I had a private investigation that I did. They even go in my diary as private, so Shawnee doesn't see them. And this was about October time, I want to say. And I turned up at this lady's house. Um, Turned up at this lady's house to do this private investigation. Actually, I think this is one of the last ones I did. I haven't had many just recently. Oh, it's only November, ignore that. um, I literally turned up at this lady's house and she was talking about sleepwalking and all sorts of things. Anyway, walked in the house, feel a lot of negative energy. Could feel a lot of negative energy. So I was like, well, is this actually supernatural? Is this a ghost? Or is it attachment? Or is it just them putting negative energy into the air? So I then have to devise that. So I'm like, right, okay. One of the things that people don't realize is the way I'm going to word it is mental health can play heck. So like with Em saying about brain fog, she had brain fog. So she was putting her keys down somewhere and she was obsessed that she put them down in this one place because that's her usual place. So I'll say to her, well, talk me through it. Exactly what you're doing. Talk me through it. And she went, well, I come in a rush. I was desperate for the toilet. I was like, right, okay. She went, I was absolutely desperate for the toilet. So I've come into the house in a rush, like a couple of hours beforehand. I went, right, okay. So what, you put all your bags down and stuff on the side from shopping. She was like, yeah. So I was like, right, and then go to the toilet. She went, yeah. I said, so where did you put your keys? She went, well, where I always do. And I says, hold on. I says, are you sure about that? She went, yeah. I says, describe it to me again. And I feel a bit like I'm treat them like a baby sometimes. Because then all of a sudden when they're going through it the second time, they're like, sugar. It weren't the fact. Oh, they do, Paul. They do. It weren't the fact that I hadn't, my keys had been moved by something spiritual onto the kitchen side. It's because I was rushing about. So I am a bit horrible that way. So then I'm like, well, all your house needs is cleansing, and I've been in contact with her a couple of times, and she says since you've cleansed it, the air just still feels quite a lot lighter. So I'm like, brilliant, no problem, fantastic, that is good news. And this is, I can tell I'm being cautious because obviously it's someone that didn't want to be know that I've gone in and helped them. And this is one of the things that for me, yeah, that's what I mean then. That's what I mean. But how many people will jump straight away to, oh, it's paranormal. It's paranormal. I definitely left my keys there. We could have done it at 30 East Drive, right? Me and Stace could have done it at 30 East Drive. I was obsessed. I was obsessed with Jazz, and it's on camera, I think, that I left my keys on the kitchen side. near the pizzas, right? I was obsessed. And I did say to her, if they're not on the kitchen side, check my handbag. She said she checked my handbag, but she obviously hadn't. But I was obsessed. I'd left them on the kitchen side. I got up, they're actually in my handbag. Now, I could have gone to a paranormal, total, oh my goodness, that must be the entity of 30 East Drive, it's moved my keys. Do you know what I mean? I could have gone to that, and I totally could have done, because that is the only place I've ever caught black orbs. I've never had black orbs before. Some of the white orbs, I will hold my hands up. I'm doing an experiment at the minute on dust, etc., to see how the camera catches dust. But the black orbs, for definite, they are not dust. And I've noticed dust don't have trails either. So if it's got a trail behind it, I've noticed dust doesn't have a trail. So I'm doing all this at the minute, and for me, it's sort of like, I find it really difficult because I think people expect me to go in and just go, oh my goodness, because I'm a believer. Oh my goodness, you're definitely haunted. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do this. Your mental health is going to be perfect. But it's not that easy. It's not that easy. And it's very, I find it actually really hard with what I do sometimes. Sometimes I find it really hard. This is it. I feel guilty. And sometimes I walk away feeling guilty because I've had to say to them, there's nothing I can do. See, this is it, Debs. I've learned now to tell the difference in between, is it me or is it thing. I've learned now to tell the difference. But I do feel, I ain't gonna lie to you, I feel guilty. Imagine going into someone's house and telling them they're insane. Telling them they're insane or they need to medically get help. It's horrible. It is absolutely horrible. And that is why, like, I hold my hands up, and sometimes I feel like I do it to you. So I do apologise, and sometimes I do. Because sometimes you'll jump straight to the paranormal, and I'm like, hold on, let's have a chat about that. Do you know what I mean? Let's have a chat. Let's have a conversation. Is it paranormal? And it's not me trying to say it's not paranormal. I want it to be paranormal. It's me just being reasonable. That's the word I'm looking for. It is, Paul. It is, sweet. Yeah. That's what I mean, Shawnee. And you don't ever have noises. So for you, you don't ever have noises and stuff. That's what I mean, Debs. So things like your the jasper stone, um, leopard skin jasper, that going into a locked box that you've not put it in, no one else is going to do that. No one else is going to do that. So that to me does scream paranormal, and it does. Um, it's crazy. Paul, it definitely does. Hubby has it as well, and that is actually why men go bald. I do feel guilty. So the reason I feel guilty is because for some people, paranormal is the easy answer. Para- some people would rather hear that they're struggling with the paranormal than actually hear that it's mental health. Debs, give me a message if you're getting a light feeling, sweet, because that sounds like they're taking your energy. Exactly. This is the thing. One of the things we have to rule, one of the major things I have to rule out, and I've even had this ruled out for myself, is schizophrenia. So do you know the difference in between reality and non-reality? And it's like, I'm like, yeah, I know that's not my voice, but I'm hearing it still. And they're like, they're just put it down then as it's like next door neighbour and I've got super hearing. It is. You have to think about all this. You have to, when we're going through this, we have to think about it all. Do you know what I mean? And I've got, as I've said, I can get my stuff out. I've got degrees in um, substance misuse, so alcoholism, trying to say it without it being a thing. Because that's another thing that can affect you. Is if you're a drug user or alcohol or even medicate prescription drugs, all that can affect you. Surely there's a massive thin line. A lot of mediums go crazy. A lot of mediums go fucking nuts. A lot of them get locked up. A lot of us get locked up. And that I ain't gonna deny. A lot of us get locked up because sometimes we start to get, so we go into what's called psychosis, spiritual psychosis. And that's when we actually start to get confused between what's reality, what's actually happening to us, and what isn't. I do know your place is haunted, Deb, so I'm not saying anything about you, sweet. I do know your place is haunted. Um, Obviously, we have to figure out what could be haunting it, if that makes sense. Um, there is such a fine line, though. There is such a fine line, and it stresses me out. Yeah, a lot of them get locked up because they get confused. They get up. There was a point, as I says, and there was a point where I got checked for schizophrenia, bipolar, all of them, because I was like, this isn't. I shouldn't be hearing this. I shouldn't be seeing this. So I did get checked. That is true, Paul. So that is true, my sweet. So the one thing, so I remember when I was going through my test, and they said to me, explain it, and I went, it's in my head. And they went, what do you mean it's in your head? And I went, the voice, it's like a thought, but it's someone else's voice. So it's actually in my head. And he looked at me like, not many people know the difference. And I was like, yeah. I said, so it's not like, I says, when I hear it, it's like white noise when I actually hear them. But when they're actually talking to me and I can understand them, it's like it's in my head, like telepathically in my head. And the doctor looked, I'll see you later, Paul Sweet. The doctor looked at me, and I never forget the doctor looking at me, and he literally turned around and said, you can't be schizophrenic. You can't be bipolar because that's not an audio hallucination. And I went, what do you mean it's not an audio hallucination? And he was like, you can tell the difference between hearing and it being in your head. He says, you're questioning it. And I went, what? And he went, you're questioning it. You can't have this because you're questioning it. And I literally sat there and I thought, so I can't have something, which means I'm mentally insane because I think I've got it. And he went, yeah. And I went, well, what have I got? And he just looked at me and went, I don't know. I don't know. So I was like, what the fudge? So it's more about people believing you've got the gift. What I personally have found is it's more about people believing you've got the gift. So if you have people around you making you feel like you're insane and not understanding it, I've always been blessed to have people around me that do understand it. So it's more about it's not about the experience and stuff like that. It is literally people believing you. It's people. Some people can be convinced they're insane, is the way I'm going to word it, because they don't have the correct terminology. So if I said to him, I can hear voices and they're different, like most people would, they wouldn't know the difference between it being in their head and actually hearing it. They wouldn't know the difference. They would think they know, they would think the voice in their head, they've heard it. Do you know what I mean? They'll straight away go to, they've heard it. Whereas for me, I go to, I say to them, I've not heard it, but it's there and it's in another voice. Your inner thoughts shouldn't be in another voice. And actually, to be honest, I didn't realise this, only 10% of the country have an inner voice. It's actually a unique gift. Is it 10%, babe? About 10%. Most people don't have an inner voice. You don't have one, do you? That's having an inner voice. That's having an inner voice. It's like most people can't actually visualize what's going on in the world around them. They can't. So for me, I have a film in front of my eyes. It's like someone's put a projector in front of my eyes. I have that going on at times. I didn't realize that was not normal either. I found out only 5% of the country, 5% of the population can do that. And I was like, what? Ugh, I need it, Debs. Honestly, I need it. I've just realised how long I've been on. You can build it, yeah. So you can build it, Shawnee. It can be built on, so it can be built and it can come bigger and stuff like that. It can be worked on. But Shawnee, this isn't at you because I know for a fact you do all of this. You do need to make sure you're putting your protection up. You do need to make sure you know how to use your white light to bring that up to guide you, to protect you, etc. Obviously, I do the courses, but they're one-to-one only now. I don't advertise them. Some people just come through and say, can I have the course? But they're expensive. The course is expensive. It's the only thing I charge proper price for. And that's only because I'm giving you my gift. Hey Richard, you alright, darling? Yeah, you can do it. That is Total normal. So that'd be you also building up a rapport with your spirit guides. Spirit guides are one of the main ones you'll ever hear. Tommy's always talking to me. Actually, Elena's started talking to me more as well. How are you, sweet? I've got this a bit on my nose. Right, any more questions on the subject of are we insane or are we actually paranormal? Good, sweet. I'm good, thank you, darling. Um, Before we head off, because I've been on ages, and YouTube don't like long videos. Awesome. Cool, cool, cool. Right, I will. Obviously, I'll be back here next week, same time, different day. Tomorrow's video, guys, it's going up on the spiritual one. I'm going to warn now. If you don't want to watch it, it's fine. It is very, very triggering. All right, and it does mention the R word quite a lot. Not by me. It does mention the R word quite a lot, so it is quite triggering. Triggering the video tomorrow. So if you don't want to watch it, it is fine. All right, my lovelies. And don't forget, I'm at the end of the phone. So if you need help, you need guidance, just give me a bloody message. I will help and guide as much as I can. That is what I'm here for. That is what I love. I do enjoy. So, yeah, I'm going to disappear then, my lovelies. Thank you all so much, honestly. Um, let's build Empress Sparkle up together. Let's get the world as light as we can and as beautiful as we can and as pretty as we can. So, yeah, because that's what we want. We want the world to be good. Oh, gravy, baby. Anyway, my sweets, thank you all so much. And don't forget, keep sparkling.